All right, fans, welcome back. Let me lower this first. Welcome back to Chaos Corner. Hold on one second. You can see that we have a lot of changes going on down here at Chaos Corner. So I just want to start off this opening here to review Night 11. A lot of the stuff here down in the bunker has been taken away for evidence by the authorities to be investigated, as for the second time this has been a crime scene. So you're going to see some changes. You've noticed some in the background. You've noticed some with the lighting. And you've noticed a change in the Guardian of Chaos, at least temporarily. I'm going against medical advice. After being clipped on the side of the left side of my neck on night 10, actually night 11. And that's why I'm still under the guise of medication. So please, I've taken a bunch of muscle relaxers. I'm going to be honest about it. And you're here to get the honest and genuine Guardian of Chaos and what you're going to get moving forward. And yeah, okay, the glasses will be back. The trademark intensity is going nowhere. I'll be tending to this, but I'm here to follow through on my obligation to cover night 11 in round 1. Okay, so I just want everyone to stand back, stand by. I'm going to see if I can make it through a 4-hour show and try to do this in hopefully an hour and a half. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the history-making Night 11, Round 1 of Avi Klein's Green Room Tournament. It even changed me. And I'm hoping for the viewers and the fans, and for the competitors, it's changed me for the better. As I said, let me try to, I can reach for this. Let me just try to get it. All right, thank you, fans, so much. Sit back. I'm going to sit back. I do have a humidifier system going. I do have some circulation going down here in the bunker. Again, a lot of the stuff has been taken away for evidence from the catastrophic events that happened on night 11 between myself and Pinocchio Joe. And we're going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly 20 feet below the surface of the earth here in the bunker for Chaos Corner. Obviously, I am the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy. Kirkland Esquire, the GOC for these purposes. So I'm going to keep it low. I'm going to keep it toned. I'm not even going to talk about all the other social media, and you know that it's Twitter and Twitch and Instagram, and you're here on YouTube. And, of course, I'm going to be over on Facebook with my good buddy Jay Brony, who literally, after what happened on night 11 and getting me on that train, and the medical team and my viewers and family and close followers, everybody hopped on that train and they took me up north, and I'm feeling better. But I have to be careful. And again, I don't know what has come over the Guardian of Chaos. This is not shtick. This is as genuine as you're going to get in this character, at least for now. You never know what could happen in the green room. So let's get on to night 11. I'm going to start, go from pillar to post, and I'll cover what happened between Pinocchio Joe and myself. And again, I know you're a little taken back by what's going on right now. I can't move too much. I have different things circulating. I do have people down here to help me. Okay, you saw that I was on different shows after what happened on Saturday night, but I'm under doctor's care. I have people right here. So if it cuts off or we have to do a part 2, I think I'm going to get through this. I owe this to the WWAB. More importantly, I owe this to the Green Room viewers. You, the fans. And I owe it to my fellow competitors, because without them, I would be nothing. The Guardian of Chaos would be nothing. The character wouldn't be as real without you guys. So I just want to thank everybody from Avi Klein on down to every competitor and performer, the 270 since May 8th, that 2021 actually, that have walked through the green room doors. And after what's happened, and I don't know when the 5th matchup is going to happen, and hopefully I can come back to where it was. I'll always have that intensity, be the Guardian of Chaos, but you just never know. Things have changed. I've spoken to a lot of different people, Avi Klein himself, Pastor Andy McDaniel, and I've learned to refocus now. And my focus is on you, Pinocchio Joe. But we're going to get on to that, because I'm here to talk about that night. Just about 1.5 million viewers tuned in for night 11. It was a show full of twists and turns, and I'm here to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's past my opening monologue because I had to address the obvious, the changes in the background, all the different stuff that has gone, except my loyalties to Jay Brony and the people that have been there with me since day one. But you can see some things are here forever, some things aren't. So thank you to my castmates, the green room itself, and to everyone out there. I can't, you can see the change in the GOC already. So sit back, relax. We're live to tape down here for the review of Night 11, Round 1. We open up with Pete from Sharpie, the national sponsor. Now, Pete opens up with a recap of Night 10, Round 1, as he always does. He says James from right guard, our old buddy, RG James, his battle buddy, that's right, Pete's battle buddy, is missing. He's gone. He's persona non grata because of the threats, at least Pete is assuming. And Pete, be careful when you follow the masses, because sometimes the M is silent. But Pete thinks it's because of the murder hornet himself, the lone wolf, as I call him, and that would be one Eric Heron, is on the hunt. He's on the loose. Not only has it been revealed that Eric Heron is still dealing with now the backlash of B. Brian Blair, who moved on to the second round, being redeemed Eric Heron and brought back by RG James, you know that there's a feud there, but James is gone. He's nowhere to be found. And Hauser Odalak, you're in big trouble. The Enigma. Let me not get off to what's going on here as Pete from Sharpie opens up. Bye-bye, RG James. And the Lone Wolf, once again, now in war paint. A brother in paint is now on the loose, and that's Eric Heron. Be wary out there, viewers. If you see him at your back door, I know everyone's been lurking around since September 12th, 2020. I'm not sure if certain competitors you'd want to let him in that background. But that's the update there on RG James and Eric Heron and what's going on. So there's not another judge. The national sponsor is gone. So we don't know what's going to happen. We go into the unbelievable, again, I say it on every review show, the intros that Avi Klein comes up with. They should be in short film awards. They should be in indie films. They should be at Cannes. They should be in Colorado. They should be anywhere that you can get an award for filmmaking, for producing, for screenwriting. I mean, because what Klein does, and listen, I'm putting that all behind me. This is a new GOC because it's me. Your old buddy, the GOC. I don't care what Klein says. He's not even an afterthought. So I applaud your work, Avi. I think what you do visually and writing-wise and producing is fantastic. Kudos, Avi. I can't be too giddy like you are when you're actually in front of the camera. I have to, medical advice. They've told me to keep down. Listen, hold on. You know, we're not even 10 minutes in. Okay, I got it. Relax over there. Thank God Jay's not here. I don't want to get too crazy. I don't want to get over the top. I got to sell this. It's got to be intense, and this is the only time I get to relax now. So just everybody hold on a second. Hold on. Put that there. So we go into, here comes for Night 11. It's Never Decline Klein comes on screen. Now, I don't know who comes up with these names, but for these purposes, Night 11, it's Never Decline Klein. He comes on and he talks. This is where Avi gets serious in his openings and his monologues. That's why if you miss the first, after the videos and the trailers, the intros, if you miss Avi's openings on all these shows, and especially in the green room, where he comes across with his poet laureate, as I like to say, in his opening monologues, you miss out on a lot of messages, and it's usually the genuineness of Avi before he gets into the character, or at least for this night, of Never Decline Klein. He talks about ego. He talks about competitors, who belongs, who doesn't belong. He goes on a monologue and talks about things that I think are very important, and I believe that for a business model and in life are things that you need to think about. And I don't need anyone to tell me that. I don't need Avi Klein to tell me that, but I'm telling you that I agree with that point. Pride, ethic, teamwork, effort. I mean, we all know this. Dedication, passion. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or 30 or 41 or 55 or 72. It just doesn't matter. Those things and that message came along strong and clear to the cast, the company, the castmates, the teammates, and everyone else out in the viewers, because you can see the chat. Now, Jay screenshots a lot of that stuff, and he gets it back to me, so I read all this stuff. And again, don't be thrown back 10 minutes in here on Night 11 review of what you see in front of you. This is the GOC. This is the Guardian of Chaos. For now. So you got to kick back. Things are ever changing. There's still a matchup 5. Let me get my wits. Let me show you that it's not always maniacal. I catch blame for power grids, threats to family, mentioning family members, whether it be someone like Bobby or Ruby or Pinocchio Joe. I'm not that guy. That's a guy who's a competitor, a guy who's, when he's out there and fighting for something. But again, when I'm with my family and I'm kicked back, there's another side to the GOC. You guys did this. Avi's family's been mentioned. This one's blackmailing this one. This one's talking about family. This one's making threats. They've said how much that it's gotten, how crazy it's gotten between myself and Pinocchio Joe. Well, Joe, you started this. Remember that you started this. That's why we've been clipped, poisoned, whatever it is that you want to talk about, technical outages, the whole 9 yards. But we're still here, and one of us is going on to round 2. We have a 5th matchup coming up. I don't know when it's going to be, but soon, Joe. We'll get on to that at the end, because we were the main event on night 11. Our last meeting was night 5. We'll be the main event again someday, somewhere, some way, as I bring you back to the bowels of the earth. I don't need all the other stuff, because I'm still the same at heart. You know that, right? So again, the intro videos never decline. Again, I talked about it. Work, pride, ethic, effort, team, dedication, passion. Listen, the people that are there in the green room belong. I don't have to go through the names. They all belong. They're a part of the team. They all work hard. They're winners. So Avi previews Night 11 via a poem, and he starts off with the winner's circle. We come on with a David Holiday video, and now David welcomes the videos. Before the promo ends, the usual Avi, they get the job done, get the job done, get the job done. That's all you ever hear from Avi Klein. David Holiday's his boy, but the winner's circle has changed. A lot of people, a lot of things are happening in the winner's circle. So here we go. David welcomes the viewers, and listen, he's a winner. It's David Holiday. We know that. He loves Saturday nights and gets your popcorn and your soda pop and your hats and your candy corn glasses. He's Mr. Main Event. And remember, without him, none of us would be anything, right? I mean, he's a winner. I'm surprised he's still not poolside somewhere. You see, I can't even get into my regular voice. I have the halls. I have some different liquids and beverages over here. Stay off. I don't need you over here now. Just stay off. So we go on to the winner's circle. I apologize. Let me not be like that. I got to show all sides here, right? All sides I have to show. We get back onto the winner's circle with David, and he talks about how he's still here. He's the host. When you think green room, what do you fans think about? Well, I don't know what you think about, but he's telling you that when you think of the green room, you think of David Holiday. He's a true winner. I mean, he's been saving it. His dominance is something that we couldn't live without. Remember that promo, David? Remember the Broadway shtick? Remember allegedly being in prison, getting assaulted? You remember all that stuff because, I have scouts. I remember all that stuff. So when you think of the green room, you think of David, and really kind of full of himself. In pops also a winner who has advanced on to round two and has experience. And listen, you may not know him as a household name, but that's the point. This is a savvy, cagey veteran full of spirit and full of honesty, and he doesn't take any sassafras from anyone. Kind of like what David Holliday proclaims to be himself. Don't you proclaim to be that kind of guy, Holiday? Whether it's from the wrestlers, the big-time Hollywood stars, you don't take any of that, right? You fend for yourself. You fight for yourself, right? You don't need anybody. Am I right? Is the GOC right in his assessment? Because I think I am right in my assessment. And then you have the nerve, the gall, the cojones to get mad at Rich Masadi when he crashes the party. Why? He's also a winner. He's also been around. Maybe he hasn't done what you have, but maybe you haven't done what he has. It works both ways. It's not a one-way street. Well, unless you're in the wrong neighborhood. It's two-way, bro. So I'm just letting you know where I see it from. I'm giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I look like it's the middle of winter when it's 90 degrees out. I won't forget it, Joe. So Rich pops in, and you know what? David right away jumps on Rich's last promo that he did, interviewing a broom. And I have to tell you this, Holiday, and I'll tell you this too, Avi, and I know you're watching, Pete. I know you're listening. I know everyone's watching this show, so thank you first, but I'm going to tell you this. I think what Rich Masadi did with the broom was genius. I can compare it to other current athletes and entertainers that they're that good that they can put a broom over. Did you ever hear that expression and that saying that someone's so good they could put over a mop? It's the same concept, and that's what Rich Masadi did in that promo. So, David, I don't know if it's envy, if it's jealousy, if he's threatened, but you guys are two of a kind, and that's why I think it's a little bit like, oil and vinegar, or whatever you want to say that expression is, which means nothing to me. So Rich pops in, and again, this is what I found interesting, and I had to go back and watch it. Jay referred me to it. He was live. Wait. He's trying to establish an alibi. He's just here to establish. No. He may not have been live. You got to check the chat room. I'm not sure about that. We go on to, this is what I found unbelievable from these two men involved in this green room. David Holliday's for these purposes, Rich Masadi, two gentlemen used to performing at whatever level. Listen, unbelievable. Here is the exchange between these two. I usually don't do this. I usually don't break it down this way, but I'm going to break it down this way. Here's a conversation in the winner's circle on night 11 between David Holliday and Rich Masadi, who have both advanced on to the second round. David, why are you here? Rich, because you don't do a good job hosting the segment. David, what should I do, Rich? Really? I don't host a good segment? Rich, resign. Let yours truly take it over. Did you catch that, Avi? Rich said yours truly. David says, convince me, Rich. What do you have? Talk truth and honesty. And David says, I'm being real. So that it starts off as a little shticky, to use Avi's word, and you see that it gets serious real quickly. And do you know why, in my opinion, being a guy that judges people the way I do? It's because they're alike. Not only competing against each other and fighting for the same thing, but it's because they're alike. So let's go through the dialogue again. Rich is saying that, hey, Dave, you don't do a good job. Get lost. Let me take over. And what do you want me to do? David says. And Rich is like, resign. And David's like, in his crass way, convince me. Be honest. Let's talk. Take off the glasses. And Rich says, and again, I'm not going to get it word for word. So relax. I'm a real guy from Yonkers, New York. I'm pouncing on an opportunity to step up. Why should you get the job? Take Avi out of the equation, Rich goes and alludes to it, and let's just go by sheer talent and competition. And David's like, I represent, Holiday says, what people want to say, but they don't say it. I'm unfiltered. Chaos likes it. And he wasn't referring to me, but do you see how the influence comes back? Even Holiday admits to it. Chaos likes it. The fans like it. So these two are going back and forth. These are actual quotes and words from night 11. So we continue on. Listen, it got real personal. Go back and check out the replay. Go back and watch these two guys that have advanced on to round 2. I originally said in a lot of this that David Holiday is probably definitely a Final Four out in Bellagio, if you would put out on the sports book and different places out there. And with Rich Masadi now, after the upset in the first round of the one Duke, the dumpster Drosy, that puts Rich at least, obviously, into the second round. I'll have to say that pushes his chances, at least in my opinion, and what they're saying out in the desert. Elite 8 is where the money's laying. And that's at a minimum. Who knows? Those are odds. I don't condone gambling. I'm not telling anyone to gamble, drink to it. That's on you. You own your own thing. You reap what you sow. Remember that, all of you. So let's get back to the dialogue. Rich goes, let's go. Let's talk, man. Come on, Holiday. Keep it real. Come on, Hats. Take off the glasses. Stop reading from a script, which I don't know what the big deal is, whether you read from a script or not. As long as you can sell it and you make it look real. Listen, I have notes. I talk to you. I refer. I go back and forth. That's called reading a script, being a professional. Who cares? Get the message across and be genuine. Just because there are words here, make sure, even if you can't say ad-lib and organically, you make sure it comes from the heart, whether it's written or live or ad-lib, however you can deliver the message. Do you understand that? So David says, I make Avi's job easier. Rich gets personal. He starts talking the great establishment in New York called Louis, where obviously David Holiday must work. He talks about David's place of employment, Louis. I mean, talk about getting personal. Apparently, yeah, David said, oh, okay, so you did a little research, you Googled or whatever it is that you did. David admits that he works there as a host, and it's a very successful, high-class place in New York, Louis. I mean, look him up. Rich says, I'm at home, man. I have a baby. I'm helping others. You say I'm fake, and I can't believe these two that are really attacking each other like this. And again, I'm going to tell you why. It's because they have something in common. Now, Rich just had a baby. David also has a son. So you see how personal this is getting in the green room. In every different storyline, in every different situation, whether it's myself and Joe, whether it's been Rich in his first round matchup, what's going on now between Rich and David, other competitors like Jamie Sparling and the different things. You see that competitors have been ousted. They're the persona non grata, to use Avi's term, since everybody else is stealing terms, and we heard that yours truly was stolen. I'm going to use that too. So you see that it gets personal. They're even talking about kids. And remember, as we go on, Avi may be getting blackmailed right now. And there's a name I'm going to throw out there, and he's not from State Farm. So here's the clue. Before we move on to this show that might take an hour and a half, here's the clue. State Farm, fans. And this is in reference to Avi Klein, because the green room has changed. It's going in a different direction. It's no longer what you thought started here a year ago. It's what's here at the green room. It's a total change. It's a transformation, if you will, a la the GOC. You're not going to believe what's happening. Let's get back onto the task at hand, and you see every character, every person, and where the green room is going. Hold on, because it's going to be one hell of a ride, man. It's ride or die mentality from the guardian of chaos with the green room and anyone who gets in our way. I may have changed, and there's more to come, but it's still the reality of who is a part of me, and you're going to find out. So they talk about each other's babies and families and sons. And listen, Rich, when he mentions David's son, hits a chord. They start using family tactics. Rich is attacking David as a father, and it really gets crazy. Rich says, "Bring your son on. Where is he? Why won't you promote him?" And David's like, "Well, he's been on before. You have no idea." He says to Rich Masadi, "Take a step back. Say thank you. Don't matter to me, Rich. You don't." These are quoting David Holiday. He says, "You don't matter to me, Rich Masadi. Take a step back. Walk in my shoes. You don't know who I am, what I've gone through as a father, a man. You don't know my life." And I say that to people all the time. Until you walk in somebody else's shoes. And I always say that. Again, Rich could say the same. So you see this, where this is going. You saw that it was brewing last week. Maybe even before then. And now you see what it's turned into. So we roll on to David and Rich in the winner's circle to open up 9/11. Listen, this goes on for a little while. Sit back, I told you. Out of nowhere, and again, I have to believe it caught every single viewer off shock. It caught everybody in the back off shock. It caught everybody that was watching off guard. You know who came in the middle of the winner's circle? Because he's also a winner that has advanced to round 2. Perhaps the most cerebral, knowledgeable, moral, ethical, spiritual person in this tournament. And that would be one Andy McDaniel. That's right. You know he's been in law enforcement. You know he saves lives. You know he's a pastor. You know that he's done several different things. Pastor Andy McDaniel was also down with the $1 Million Man. So there isn't a thing that the pastor in this world over the last 35 years hasn't experienced. And he's a family man. And he's a man that can talk sense into anyone. Look at who he's associated with. Not only the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, who was basically his tag team partner on Unmasking the Truth with Del Wilkes, the Patriot. That would be one, Wrestling with Faith. Pastor Andy McDaniel, Wrestling with Faith. The Patriot Del Wilkes, Sunday night, Unmasking the Truth. Do you get it? With Avi Klein. That's who shows up. Again, took me by surprise, took everybody by surprise. When I got the message, I had to turn off my phone. They started coming through fast and furious. Because Andy's very important to everybody in the green room. But he will take no guff. He comes in and he more or less reads the riot act to these two clowns. That's right. Both of you have turned on me. David Holiday turned on me a long time ago, early on in this tournament. And Rich Masadi's now, Rich, I'm on the fence. At first I leaned towards the Guardian, but he must have butt hurt me or something, So now I'm on the fence and maybe I'm going towards Pinocchio Joe. Really, Rich Masadi? It takes that much to turn you against someone that you considered a threat? Well, guess what? Deal with these guys for now. I got bigger fish to fry, but I'll be back. I'll circle back around. I'll take notes. I'll take quotes because I don't miss anything that's in the comment section. I don't, Masadi. Let's get off that subject. So Andy comes in, reads the riot act. He said, "What are you guys doing? You're supposed to be winners. Who are you two?" This is coming from Andy McDaniel, who has his own platform. Not only was he on Del Wilkes, and now he is also on there with David Holiday, who should know better. Holiday really should know better that if Andy McDaniel comes on, you should stop the seat. Finito, in other words, shut up. Holiday, how about shutting up for once? Everyone says I have a big mouth and I talk and I should shut up. How about you, Holiday? When Andy McDaniel comes on, how about you shut up? How about that? He was with the Patriot Del Wilkes. You guys host right now in memory of Del with Avi Klein on Sunday nights for Unmasking the Truth. And this is what we have to come to. Andy McDaniel has to come in the pastor and put you two jabronis. That's right, I said jabronis. Don't get mad. I said jabronis, really. And you deserve it. He said, "Let me remind you," Andy McDaniel's talking now. I'm quoting the pastor. How great is that? I get to quote a pastor, a man of influence. He says, "I'm in the second round too. I'm in a winner. So check your pride, Masadi and Holiday. I've broken up many disagreements in his background in law enforcement and counseling and being in wrestling and traveling the world and now being an ordained a pastor. Unbelievable. He's broken up." He said, "Both of you right now, in his opinion," I have to agree with the pastor. He said, "Both of you should be locked up. You should spend the night in the who's gal. Well, if I had to think right now, and we're being honest here, right? And Avi wants us to be honest, right? He wants us to touch all our different sides. So I have that range. I think both of you probably have been locked up before. Right, Rich? Can I ask that question here on the review 30 minutes in on night 11? Rich Masadi, have you been locked up before? I'm saying yes. David Holliday, have you been locked up before? I'm also saying yes to you. So I'm saying yes to both those questions. When Andy McDaniel says that both of you should be locked up, I was saying at that point, I agree. Because I think they've been locked up before in the who's gal. Over on the galleys or the tiers. Behind the walls. Maybe somebody will leave a comment here if they're watching. So he says, check your pride. You should both be locked up. He says to Rich, this is what the pastor Andy McDaniel says to Rich. Why should you win, Rich Masadi? Why do you deserve it? Why does this show in the green room, being in the second round, and Andy went there, make you into a jerk, Rich Masadi? Pastor Andy McDaniel's laying the smack down, and if he was saying that to me, I would have to check myself right there. He says to Masadi, look in the mirror. Is winning worth this? Is winning worth this? Somebody got the spray. I'll get the spray on the break. Just keep it to the side. Is it really worth this, Rich Masadi? And this is what Pastor Andy McDaniel is saying. David pipes in and chimes in. Remember now, there's a connection there between Andy and David. David asks Andy, what makes you think you can win? Now, I didn't think David was going to go down that old dirt road, the old dusty road. Long blood runs between us, David Holliday. That's what he must have been saying at that point. That's the only thing that I could think of. So we move on to David and Rich in the winner's circle. I was going to say Holiday's winner's circle. Do you see how I almost got caught up in it too? I'm not listening to you anymore, Avi. So the pastor is in there. Andy says to David, I expect more out of you. This is a different animal, David says on the green room. I can't even believe that David's talking to Andy in that way. Andy says to David, you're tearing each other apart. Why are you arguing, David? Why are you doing this? Has this winning really important? Is this what it's done to you? He asked Rich Masada the same thing. Is this what it's done to you? To hear that coming from Pastor Andy McDaniel, who I follow on just about a daily basis. 6 days a week, that man's in my home. At least via the internet. And to hear that, listen, I'm a competitor. I'm not a changed man. This is a different side of me that you haven't seen before in the competition and in the green room. But I listen to Pastor Andy McDaniel. If I'm David and Rich, before Avi pops in here, I listen to Andy McDaniel. Is it worth it to you two? Is it? Can you handle the heat? Rich showed that maybe he could. I don't even know why I'm saying that after he turned on me. Can you handle it, David? You claimed that you could, but I see that when the fires turned up, David Holliday, and people get real, David Holliday, and things start to happen, and they let the other side and the 3 and 4 and 5 different personalities that they may have. Davis Jubilee, David Holliday, Howard Coriato, DJ Hooja, Jay Brony, Pinocchio Joe, all different things that people have these different sides. Can you handle it, David? Can you handle it? Or will you run like the bitch that you are, Holiday? I'm just saying. I'm just asking the question, Holiday. I'm just asking the question. So Avi pops in and he pulls Holiday like off to the side, like the fans or the other competitors can't hear you. You jabronis. I'm telling you, don't get offended. Really? Talk about jabronis. We use the word, not J-brony. Jabronis. You guys actually go off to the side. Hey, listen, this is different. You're telling, Ivy wants to whisper, hey, it's breaking up. What are you doing, Avi? You really think that no one could see what you're up to and what you're trying to do, Klein? Talk about shtick. I have to question that move right there and the sincerity in it. And trying to whisper off to David Holiday. Listen, there's a clear rivalry between David Holiday and Rich Masadi, not only in personal stories, but I'm going to say in the way they think about each other. And I'm going to say, that's right, I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say in talent level, they're probably just as equal. How do you like those apples, David Holiday? Does that jar your preserves? And Masadi, I don't need your damn approval. So don't get high and all like Avi gets giddy like a little girl. Don't get giddy because I gave you a compliment from perhaps the second oldest man in the contest. Remember where I've been, what I've done. You too, Joe, because I don't know if you're even smart enough to watch this show. You bonehead. So, of course, Avi cheers David, just like I said, and Giddy's like a little girl. It really is crazy. Pastor Andy says to David, before he leaves this segment of the Winner's Circle, look in the mirror as well, as I alluded to earlier, David Holiday. Look in the mirror as well. And if you hear Andy McDaniel saying that to you, and you know him, you've broken bread with him, you've been at services for him, you know what the story is. You know what the story is. You know, Holiday, hearing that from the pastor. So, Avi cheers for David. We move on. This really was something that I don't think any of us expected. So let's take a quick break here. We're 35 minutes in. I gotta see if I could put this over here. I'm still recovering from this. I'm gonna take a quick break because now that we have that, the clear rivalry between Rich and David that we know in this Winner's Circle, and we saw it beforehand too. We saw it on previous nights, and the clear favorite choice in Avi Klein's mind is who? It's David Hats Holiday. So before we end this segment, stand by, fans, sit back. We're not going anywhere. We're 37 minutes in. I'm going to be here for another hour. So enjoy the show. I'll try to chop it up in clips, but watch the whole show. You're missing out on the fastest, hottest, growing show in the entertainment industry every Saturday night live. The Green Room, the 64-person single elimination bracket-style tournament to determine who's going to host the Green Room. We're moving on to round 2. We're almost done with round 1. There's only a night or 2 left. The brackets have filled up. I haven't made it to the second round yet. So stay tuned. There's stars like you wouldn't believe as we take this little break and get on to the next segment of Night 11. The stars that have moved into the second round from TV and film and entertainment and theater and Hollywood and sports and music and pro wrestling is a sight to behold. I'll cover some of it here on Night 11. You already know who's advanced on. I don't have to continue to say some of the names because I forget them sometimes. Let's stick to Night 11 because it was in recent memory on the Green Room. We've been told by analytics and by the research and by the people and by the numbers and the people who follow this show that Saturday night's Night 11, round 1 of the Green Room, may have been in the top 3, if not the highest rated show in Green Room history. I was proud to be a small part of that and very proud to be on there with the people that were on there, although I can't stand any of them. Hold on a second. If I don't drink this, I won't get through the show. Oh, the muscle relaxers are killing me. I'm being honest. You want honesty? I'm giving you honesty. So after the fiasco of the first Winner's Circle, and I won't be too long and gush about this, but this was a huge part of the show. The segment, the conversation, the chat, the interview, which I don't like to use, went on well over an hour, and it was 2 very, very influential people. I don't want to say famous, although they are. Very influential people for what they stand for and what they do. And Avi did it again. He literally, take off the hat, and pulls something out of the hat every single night we have the Green Room. No, I'm not waving the white flag because you asked that in the comment section. I'm not waving the right flag. I'm saying this is what you do. You pull it out of the hat, Klein. I'll give you credit. Who comes on? Let me see if I can give you some clues. John Kreese. Rambo 2. The White Buffalo. Death Race 2000. Gunsmoke. Kojak. The Karate Kid series. Yeah. Kung Fu Fighting. And of course, the hottest thing right now, the Cobra Kai series. John Kreese should have gave it away. Martin Kove. Avi flashes back to the year in the history of March of 1946 and brings on legendary heel, legendary bad man. One of the most legit actors, stand-up men, and as the conversation went on, I learned even more. And that would be Martin Kove. Marty, as he was being called. Marty. I got to be on the same show as Marty. I had to get shot to go on the same show. I should have figured. I should have known. Karate Kid, Rambo, Death Race 2000, Kojak, Cobra Kai. I should have known that something could have happened just because Martin Kove was on with Avi. I should have picked up on that. I usually pick up on those things. So Avi brings in Marty Kove. I gave you some of the background. And right from the rip, because Martin Kove, Mr. Kove, is this kind of guy, a real guy. And this is what I learned. I had heard this before, but I never researched the character and the person inside until you know that you're going to have a connection with him. I didn't do my homework as much as I usually do. So Martin Kove comes on, and who else comes on? Someone who's very close to his family. They've spent time together. They've researched together. They've worked together. They've been involved in the same project together. And they've been there for each other personally. And they are very good family friends. And that would be one Carrie Kasem comes on. That's right. Casey Kasem's daughter. And if you don't know who Casey Kasem is, America's Top 40, keep reaching for the stars and keep your feet on the ground. If you don't know who Casey Kasem is, I want you to go back and research. As a man who's pushing his 60s, and I'm going to be honest and genuine, and that's where we're leaning here in the green room, you're going to get the character of the person inside and outside. And this is what you're getting right here. This is the beginning of the transition of the multifaceted faces of the Guardian of Chaos. No, I'm not No. This is what you get. But Martin Kove and the different things that he does and what Avi brought on here, and then for Martin to expose the project of the Carrie Kasem Story Foundation, which is of elder abuse. And they have a podcast where Martin does the voiceover for Carrie's podcast. And if you're not familiar with Casey Kasem, you may be familiar with the story and the foundation and what Carrie's trying to do and what Martin is bringing attention to. And everyone said it on night 11, and I bring it here. And this is the part of me where it's not kayfabe, where you're getting the real character. You're getting the genuine person behind what you see in the main event. I'll transition back to that guy because I can turn it on and off like a switch. If you're a professional, this is what you see and this is what you do. And whoever does and doesn't like this show and changes the channel because you see something different, I really don't give a damn. Change the channel. I'm here as a part of the Green Room, a proud member of the Green Room team, company, and cast. Kind of hurt. It's not shtick, Avi. So back to Carrie's, because we're talking serious here, so that's how you should know that even though you think I'm trying to get humor and shtick, it's also a part of who I am as a person. So let me be me. You want to expose me, you want to peel me back like an orange or like an onion, or open up the curtain and see who's behind the Guardian of Chaos, and this is what it is. You have to take it all. The dark side, the humorous side, the shtick side, the serious side. Because I'll give them all to the fans, the viewers, the Green Room. I have to win this competition if I'm going to be host. I can't be the dark spirit that lives back here on every time. I have to save that for animals and savages like Pinocchio Joe. And what makes me different is I can turn it on and turn it off like Tom Brady can, or Rick Barry, or Pistol Pete Maravich, or anyone that you want to talk about, the greats in sports and theater and entertainment. That's what I can do. But back on to someone else who can do that. Martin Kove and Carrie Kasem. And the elder abuse. And again, fans, this is why it hits home. because Carrie's stepmother, if you know the story and you do your research, kept Casey isolated, kept Casey away from his family, and especially from Carrie. And the stepmom of Carrie, Casey Kasem's second wife or third wife, whatever it was, kept moving around from place to place that no one could find him. They took away his technical stuff, his internet stuff, so he couldn't get in touch with his family and his daughters. And you know what it brought to light, and a lot of people, and even my wife had said it. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to throw personal stuff out there too. This is the green room. You talk about, we've all had it, and I went through it too with my family, with conservatorship and guardianship and abuse of elders, and whether it's an attorney or a family member, it could be, or someone you know, or someplace that they've been placed. It really is. I mean, even as a current topic right now in this day and age in July of 2021, you have the Take Free Britney Spears, you know, not take, the Free Britney Spears movement that goes on. You see what went on with her dad and what she's going on. And Carrie talks about what happened with her legendary father, Casey, and again, America's Top 40. I grew up on a man in my teenagers, 20s, 30s, and 40s, and it's still to this day affecting generations far beyond his reach and our reach. So that's the beautiful thing, to keep his memory alive. And that's what Carrie's bringing to light. And of course, the most important thing of elder abuse. And we're all going to experience it at some time, and you may experience it yourself. Yeah, a lot of you folks out there watching this and the competitors are a lot younger than me. And some of you are older than me. And I refer to you, Stephen Lee. I respect you, my friend. But a lot of people, you have to think about this because it affects your family. And it's going to affect you or someone you know soon. So go to carescares.org. That's CASEM cares.org. That's Carrie's foundation. That's her project. Martin Cove, again, the legendary Martin Cove. And I don't use that word lightly, and I know I use it a lot. But for Martin to bring on, shows you the kind of character and person that he is as someone in the Hollywood business. And you know, Hollywood takes a bad rap for good reason, because there's a lot of scum out there, and there's a lot of bad people that do bad things out there in Hollywood, in the entertainment industry, just like all walks and works of life. And whether you're digging ditches, whether you're in the pro wrestling business, whether you're in broadcasting, or whether you're in Hollywood or the music business, or everyday life, we all experience that. So take care of your family. Go out and get involved in this. And leave a comment here on this. Share this. I really want to put this out. This is the most important part of the Night 11 show to me, and the most important part of this review is not only Martin Cove and what he's meant to the business, is his interview, and we're going to touch on that, but the importance of bringing the light to, which I knew about already through my wife, is the Carrie Kasem Foundation and what she's doing at kasemcares.org, and you know, for intervention and to get involved in the conservatorship and guardianship and the abuse of elders. And I can't stress this. Listen, my father's almost 80 years old. My mother passed away 6 years ago at 70 years old. And so it affects all of us. And you want to know that, you know, my personal stuff and history too, and this is what you get, and this is where the green room is headed. So, strong message from Carrie Kasem. God bless her. God bless her father. A big part of my life, still is. And the fans, if you're not touched by that, then maybe you should change the channel and not watch the green room. Or I don't know what to tell you. So Carrie gets off screen because she's thinking that all the fans and viewers are here for Hollywood, and they want to talk to Mr. Cobra Kai, Mr. Cleese, John Cleese, if you will, Mr. Karate Kid. Listen, there's nothing better than the Karate Kid series, and now I have to go out and seeing that I've been on the same show or shared the same locker room, you can say the green room with Martin. I'm going to have to go back and really research it even closer now. I learned more in the upcoming conversation that Avi had with Martin Cove about acting and genuineness and being who you are, and his message than I have in life. And I've just experienced about anything in life. So for this industry, this is more valuable than any school or any lesson you can sit on. So I found it amazing. And whenever Avi Klein brings in these folks, whether it be a Picardo or a Zikri or a Winslow or a Casase or a Tobolowski or a Sally Kirkland, or depending, John Goodman's, George Wentz, Antonio Banderas, Will Dafoe, Michael Winslow. Again, I'm forgetting names, but to have Martin on here, Marty, I almost get chills being able to say that. This is the real chaos. No idol worship. This is just being real. So Avi goes on to talk about Martin's career. Obviously, they talk about Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3. They talk about and they get serious about, was Ralph Macchio, was Pat Morita a father figure to Ralph Macchio? And I would have to say yes. I have to agree. And Martin Kove says that, and Avi alludes to that, that in those movies at that time, and Pat Morita was such a, God rest his soul, was such a great actor. Everything from The Odd Couple to The Karate Kid to even being on Happy Days at Arnold's Place. I mean, Pat Morita really was something. And as a person, you come to find out how special he was. And he was like a father figure to Ralph Macchio in The Karate Kid in that trilogy. And Martin Kove echoed that. And then they talk about Cobra Kai, and Martin talks about what makes the movie of The Karate Kid. It's not necessarily his persona or the legendary Pat Morita or even how great a young Ralph Macchio was. It's the things that stick today. It's the wording, it's the writing, it's the script. He pays a lot of praises to the writers and the things that live and last. And I know what he's talking about, being a little older and being in different businesses and industries, everything from music to pro wrestling to to performing. It's what I love. But he makes a valid point when he says it's about phrases, it's about moments, and Avi has alluded to this, and it's about characters, and Martin brings up the infamous and the quotable and the household quotes that have come out of those trilogies, those movies, Cobra Kai, Karate Kid, so on and so forth. And think about it. What do you always hear? No mercy. Sweep the leg. No fear in your dojo. Wax on, wax off. No. Oh, wax off, oh, wax on. He's right about that if you think about it. So he praises the writers, the iconic lines. He believes, in his opinion, and I have to agree with such an accomplished guy, that lines and stuff like that and moments can make the movie as much as the character, was his point. And Avi even asks a question that was brought up by a past legend that has been, and you talk about people that Avi brings onto the green room from Hollywood, John Amos. That's right, from Good Times and Roots and every different thing in between. John Amos asked Avi to ask a question for Martin. So the question that John Amos asks, and Avi quotes it, would you do it again, referring to playing Erickson in Rambo 2? Because that was one of his big roles. So look at that you're privy and you're a part to the inside, that someone like John Amos, who's still active today with his family in theater and in movies, a legendary guy who's won all kinds of awards, and let's face it, grew up in my household as almost like a stepfather, John Amos, and the character that he portrayed on Good Times, and then to the groundbreaking Roots series, and everything in between that John Amos has did. So the connection, to be a part of it, to ask Avi, to ask Martin a question about Rambo 2 and his character, and Marty answered that yes, he would. So this went on for a while, and again, it's not an interview. I feel like I'm at a pub or at a restaurant or a fireside or lakeside conversation, because that's how Avi gets people to open up. I don't know how well he knows. He doesn't tell, I want to make this clear. Avi doesn't tell any of us anything. He doesn't tell us what's going to happen, who's going to show up. That is all organic ad lib and things that you're going to have to pick up on and follow and go with, or you don't make it in this. We don't know any of the challenges, the promos, anything that happens before the show. Yeah, we converse. Yeah, we do a lot during the week. But when it comes for showtime to what you fans are involved with and watch the live performance, again, 1.5 million viewers, the hottest, fastest growing, rising movement, however you want to say it, in the entertainment industry, you see the people that are coming to the green room. I mean, that's what happens on the green room. It's on the spot. You have to have your wits. So John Amos, to ask that, Marty Kove, again, as I tie this up like a little bow, he says, yeah, he would do it again. And Avi comes up with a question, because then he has to play games with the different competitors, with Marty, with Kerry, and now Marty Kove is in. Martin Cove, Mr. Cove, is in round 2 of the Green Room tournament. Cobra Kai, Karate Kid, Cleats, whatever. He's in the Green Room round 2. You can learn a thing or two from that man. Listen, I could too, maybe. So Avi asks, it's the most incredible thing. Yes, I'm on all kinds of medication, so bear with me. You have to take all kinds of things from the character. This is the vulnerable me. I hate to say it. I didn't want to admit it, but it is. Avi asks Martin, the most boring topic or situation that you've ever been in. Now, I don't know where, Avi's a writer. We know that. Lionsgate, the whole 9 yards, the background, the pro wrestling. I get it. AK-47. I understand. He's gotten me shot and poisoned since I've met this man. I have to trust him. I trust him 100%, and I've gotten his back. But this is a new GOC. He no longer matters to me. Let him insult me. Let him play the videos. I don't care. Listen, I'm serious about this. So Avi goes on. Now, Marty takes a couple of minutes to think about this. And Avi, this is something that I picked up on. Marty Cove says to Avi, again, this legendary performer says to Avi Klein, boy, you really do your homework. I can only imagine the feeling that Avi Klein had at that point. In a light moment, Marty ends up answering the question, and he said years ago with some girl he was dating, he's laughing, and he was at a conversation with the family at dinner of this girl, and they were talking about carburetors and manifolds. So Marty actually came up with a situation. He couldn't think of anything. A guy's lived, listen, an exciting life. And bring it to Avi Klein, Mr. Non-Exciting Klein, I'll say, brings up a boring question about carburetors and manifolds. It was a light moment. We end up the conversation, and Avi asks Marty one word. And Marty uses actually 2 words because he can. He's Martin Cove. Avi asks, what and why, or why would you want to, what would a word or a phrase be that you would most like to be remembered by? Now you're asking, here's a man who's in his 70s, looks like he's in his 50s, still active, still sharp. I mean, a true iconic person, Martin Cove. Do your homework. So Avi asks that question. Marty thinks about it for a second, and he says, I'm going to use 2 words. And he says, ethically creative. Ethically creative. And then he goes to explain it and break it down. He says it's a key to existence. And I understand what he says. He's saying being ethical, having morals, having values, being a man of your word, a person of your word, having respect, treating people how you want to be treated. Martin Cove, I mean, that really, really hit home. Morals, ethics, and performing in any walk of life, it is the key to existence. And Martin Cove, that really hit home. And again, if you didn't learn something from that conversation, and again, what Avi did, it really was incredible. What a night. Now I know why there was almost 1.5 million viewers. The Carrie Kasem issues and elder abuse and how great of a person her father was, Casey Kasem, American Top 40. And then Martin Cove, Karate Kid, Cobra Kai. Listen, I can go on and on. If I had a lollipop, I'd say, who loves you, baby? Referring to Kojak. Yes, can you turn that up, please? There's got to get more flow in here. That really was something. Again, Avi pulled it out of the hat. He really does. And before Martin went, Avi asked, and I think I alluded to this. We might have had this conversation, but this is what I was asked, and that's why I bring it up. Do you still get that feeling, that rush, when you perform at this age, and for all the projects that you've done and how many different times you've been in front of people? And I've recently talked about this with people too. And again, we're all the same people. Some are at a higher level, have reached a higher level. Some have never maintained that level, but we're still all the same people. We still all belong. That's what the green room is all about. You know that, right? And I can attest this too. And Marty says yes. Yes, he still gets that feeling, that high, that rush, things that I say can never compare to. No drug, no alcohol, no sex, no winning of money, no meal, no relationship, nothing can compare. Even marriage, childbirth, those are moments in lifetime history and the most important things, but that feeling of performing in front of people and getting that feedback, and you get off stage and you feel like you've been run over by an 18-wheeler. And Marty said he still gets that feeling, and I still do today myself, as someone who's not at that level, but someone who still is the same person. Really was. And he mentions that Martin Kove is doing something with his son Jesse, and it's actually going to be a Hallmark movie. So a lot of people are going to be happy. I know a lot of people. Listen, I even watch the Hallmark Channel. So Martin Kove, Mr. Badass, is going to be on the Hallmark Channel with his son Jesse. So they go on and they finish up and they have a questions, because Avi has to get everyone involved in trivia, promos, questions, Q&As, because that's what the green room is. You're in the tournament now. You could be competing against these folks. Question, he asks it for Holiday, a 1 out of 10 to Martin Kove. What do you think David's choices are? That's right, Mr. Winner Circle has a problem with everybody lately, especially Rich Masadi. What do you think his chances are in a late night host position, or Avi? Martin actually says a 9.5. Nothing's a 10, he said, but a 9.5. Hey, not bad. That's high praise from Martin Kove. He even said, compared Avi, and I wonder what Avi felt like when he said that. He compared Avi to like I don't know, Johnny Carson, Merv Griffin type combo. I don't know. I think Avi's more partial to David Letterman. I mean, but what a compliment to hear that from Martin Kove. And then we go off the air, and Martin Kove leaves everybody in the green room, all the competitors. He's going to be in round 2. Avi, all of you out there right now. Martin Kove says it one last time. He looks into the camera. Sweep the leg. Wow. It really was. Right there was worth the price of admission alone. We move on at night 11. Martin Kove, listen, I know that I'm a big fan, even more so now. We move on to night 11, round 1 of Avi Klein's Green Room Tournament. It's been a long, hot summer. We have a second winner's circle. There seems to be a trend and a pattern. I don't know what's going on, but we go on to a second winner's circle. Davis Jubilee is back for winner's circle number 2. Now, Avi mentions before we get into winner's circle number 2 and I said it, winner's circle number 2, I said that there's still a lot of people to appear. Avi mentions John Goodman, mentions Cheers, George Wendt, Norm, mentions Will Dafoe, Antonio Banderas. These names are still affiliated and associated with the show up here in round 1 in the Green Room Tournament. Some of them into round 2, along with the many people that are already in there. And I've said it from Sally Kirkland to Mark Henry to Ken Patera and everybody in between. It's a who's who in film, TV, and sports, and it really is unbelievable. So the second, before we get on to Davis Jubilee, I don't know. I know he's a winner. I know he's in the second round. The winner's circle with Davis Jubilee, Avi has Pete come on screen. And he asks Pete, how are you doing? They're reminiscing about James from RG James. It's, the corporate world schmoozing. The old battle buddies no longer. And Avi says, well, how's Canada? And Pete said, he loves Canada. Oh, Canada. And Avi said, when are you defecting? And Pete said, never. So a little lighthearted moment there before Davis Jubilee comes in, because that's a lighthearted moment in itself. And Rich Masadi tries to expose it. I'll give Rich credit. He tries to expose Davis Jubilee. I've been at battle with you in the courtroom, Jubilee, and I tried to expose you too. You remember that, right? GOC Kirkland Esquire pro bono. I remember that, Jubilee, and now Rich Masadi's going to be maybe a better man than me. I'll admit it. This is the new GOC. He may expose you, Jubilee. RG James, persona non grata, Pete's former battle buddy. Yeah, Let's remember that. That's what happens in the green room. You're either in or you're out. Winner circle number 2, Davis Jubilee comes on. It's clearly he's talking and thinking about history. He says that he's played cards with Abraham Lincoln. He's had drinks with Edgar Allan Poe, and he's rambling on in that southern Kentucky fried chicken smell type of way. And who pops in? Hold on. Let me get the hat again. Avi Klein. He did it again. One of the most famous round 2 competitors. The world's strongest man. Out of nowhere comes in Mark Henry. I want to get giddy. I want to jump and scream, and I can't right now. I have to do this. I want to yell and scream. Mark Henry comes on with Davis Jubilee. The most important person probably in the second round. One of the most, and perhaps one of the most important in the future of the WWAB. Listen, he's all elite. Words of wisdom from Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Sexual Chocolate, Sirius XM Busted Open Radio, WWE Hall of Famer, All Elite AEW. He's been on Oprah, Jay Leno, Conan O'Brien. I really don't like Conan. He's sat with 3 United States presidents. I don't know if that's good or bad. He's dined with kings and queens. He's been in Parliament. He is a Hall of Fame Olympian. He's a world champion, the only human walking the face of the earth that's to be a world champion in 3 different sports. He is a 4-time national champion. He's been in comic books, movies. Damn it, he's in textbooks. That's credentials. That's Mark Henry. That's what the F I'm talking about. Wow. It's great to have Mark Henry back on. And let me tell you something, to hear Mark Henry talk and just to read all that, he is smooth. Now, that's not a man that's cocky or arrogant, but when you're on with a Davis Jubilee, you got to lay it down. You got to lay the smack. Ain't no half-stepping. You got to do it right from the rip, from the muscle, and that's what Mark Henry did, and not for nothing. Those are the facts. And when you say something like that, people say, oh, he's cocky, he's arrogant, I don't care. What does that mean? You're still the same person as me. And you're right to an extent. But when you walk the walk, talk the talk, back it up, that's real. That's legit. That's Mark Henry. What more could I say about that? He laid it down. So it's funny that, I don't know where this came up. So Davis Jubilee, listen, I don't know if he was drinking on some mint julep. It's not the Kentucky Derby time. I don't know if he was hanging out with his long-lost relative, Jim Beam Jubilee. I don't know. Those are questions that have to be answered. I don't know if he had a few on the links. Maybe he was out golfing with Pete from Sharpie, the national sponsor, and I want to bring that up at an hour in here on this review. Why is there a competitor like Davis Jubilee on the links playing golf with a national sponsor who's also a judge? I want that duly noted. There's a connection between Pete and Davis Jubilee. Davis claims that down in New Orleans, he won an egg toss. In Biloxi, Mississippi, he won a 3-legged leg race. And out in Valdosta, Georgia, that's right, Valdosta, he had a pie-eating contest. And Davis says, I understand what it's to be all elite. This is the best thing I got to use for a corn cob pipe. I'm not kissing it. I'm imitating how Jubilee is with that pipe. So that's what Jubilee does. So he's stroking on that corn cob pipe. He's talking about, he knows what it's like to be all elite. I don't think he does. Definitely. So Davis tries to get in. Listen, Mark Henry's a big man. Davis Jubilee starts talking about mint juleps, as I said, and the peach cobbler. And Mark Henry refers back to 1976. is when he watched his first Olympic Games, and he had said that he wanted to be like that someday, proving his determination and how hard it is. And you know what? Almost 20 years later, he said 19 years later, he did it. He said to Davis, in response to David's peach cobbler and all that, he said he'd like to have some, but winning is who you are. It's not what you do. That's what Mark Henry said. Winning is who you are. It's not what you do. And when you're a competitor, the best line of the night, and we talked about this, Mark calls Davis Jubilee Foghorn Leghorn. Foghorn Leghorn. I say, boy. Listen, Mark Henry said it. Fantastic. You win with grace and poise. He puts it all truly in perspective. Mark Henry is an unbelievable human being, what he's accomplished in life and as a person, and what he does to give back and working for different groups. I mean, he talks about AEW. He talks about the community and support for wounded warriors and the Boys and Girls Club. And he's been doing this for years. That's truly, take out all the accomplishments, take away all the sexual chocolate, the persona, the gimmick, just like with the Guardian of Chaos. Mark Henry is about giving back. Wounded warriors, the Boys and Girls Club. And he's been doing that his whole career. And that's what makes Mark Henry different. And that's why Avi Klein is bringing him to the let me not say anything. Mark, he's just happy to be in the green room tournament. And as fellow competitors and viewers and fans, you should be happy that Mark Henry is here in the green room and at the WWAB. Stay tuned for that. I almost let the cat out of the back. And I want this noted again, Avi, because I hope you watched a whole hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it takes. Not only did Rich Masadi use yours truly, Davis Jubilee also used yours truly. Second time, I want it noted. Okay? Because you pop in after this segment. I don't know if you were paying attention. You might have been taken back and had idol worship towards Mark Henry. And you know what? That would be worth it. So Avi comes in and just mentions a couple things. Davis Jubilee still going on with this long-winded winner's circle. I guess this is the future of the green room. And who comes in? My old arch enemy from back to the trial days. One Rock Richards. That's right, Rock Richards. But it gets real. I'm telling you, it gets real. Davis Jubilee, I'll give Rock credit. No matter how he did it, Judge Pompous Maximus, whatever happened, I don't know. A lot of crazy things happen in the green room. I've found that out the hard way. So give Rock Richards credit. He's in the second round and has been for a while. After Stephen Lee, Rock Richards was the second person to get in the second round. That's an accomplishment in itself. And you know what? Rock Richards says the time is now. And I agree with Rock Richards as a competitor in this tournament. Rock Richards is a man on a mission. And he says the time is now. He is the underdog. I'll give him credit, whether it be on the independent circuit in pro wrestling, whether it be as a competitor in the green room, a performer. Rock Richards comes from nothing. He admits it. He talks heart, passion, determination, fighting for everything that he's ever gotten. And now listen, I've seen Rock on a lot of different shows. I saw him and worked against him in the green room. I tried to cooperate with him. He is no one to be trifled with, Rock Richards. I will say that. This guy is the underdog. He will fight for his life. I could see that in him. I haven't seen a lot of competitors with his passion. I see a guy in Rock Richards that's hungry. He's obviously a fighter. He's obviously a competitor. And he relays that and says that to the crowd. Now, he's probably the first person. I'll say Masadi did it too, but Rock Richards got into the winner's circle. He took advantage of that time. He owned it. He told everyone exactly who he was and that he's here to stay. And he's going to fight with everything that he got. And you know what? I respect that. I may not like Rock Richards, but I respect where he comes from nothing. And there's nothing that's more dangerous than a guy that's got nothing or a gal that's got nothing to lose. And that's Rock Richards. And he's on to the second round. It really is. Avi pops in, and Rock basically says to Avi, he puts him in his place too. And that's what I got out of it. As I think back to the segment, he's no joke. Rock's here to stay. It's quality over quantity. I agree with that, Avi. If you don't see that in Rock, Avi asks a question of Rock, and again, when you have the time to sit around and you're thinking ponies, because Avi's going to do everything with Pete, spin the wheel, make the deal. We don't know what's going to happen in the second round. I'm not even in the second round. So Avi asks Rock Richards, who are you targeting in the second round? I'll give Rock credit, and that's why I say this guy takes no guff. He's not taking a back seat to anybody anywhere in life as a man, as a person. I see that in Rock Richards. He calls out Brian Clark, a.k.a. Adam Bomb the Wrath. Bill DeMott from Face Value. That's right. It's not funny anymore, is it, Bill? And Olympic strongman Ken Patera from a World's Strongest podcast. He calls out all three legends and stars. That takes cojones. He might even have tres huevos. That takes balls, Rock Richards. He tells him he's not an afterthought. I got to agree with him. Don't look down on me. I've had to say that to people before too. Don't look down on Rick Richards. Rock Richards. He stands almost 6'6", 300 pounds. He's that big inside from what I've seen. And I have a history with Rock Richards. You know that. We still have something to settle. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Rock Richards. So that was a strong message from Rock. Listen, this winner's circle segment goes on and on and on, this second segment for night 11. In comes another winner. I have to keep saying these guys are winners. Rich Masadi pops in for this part 2 of the winner's circle. He's with Avi and he's with Davis. Rock said his words and got off camera. Give him credit. He took advantage of the time, sent out a strong message, and he took off. He's no joke. Rock Richards. So Rich pops in. He's with Avi and Davis Jubilee, and Rich has something to expose here that I alluded to earlier. Rich says that was, and I love this, the drizzling chips, the shiznits. I'll give Rich for being politically correct. I like that. Masadi just is being honest. Show was lousy. It was crap. This is where the expose comes in. He says that it's not Davis Jubilee, that it's David Holliday. Now, I've alluded to things about several castmates and different things to people before. Rich Masadi comes at it like a pit bull, like he does in life, like he does as a man, like he does as a competitor. He comes in and he's trying to expose Davis Jubilee as David Holliday, and I'll give him credit. Give Rich Masadi credit because he's real. He said, don't pretend, David. Don't pretend that you're not Davis Jubilee. I'm not out here trying to be Mitch Rosati. What did he say? Rick Monicati. and he really did try to expose. There's a lot to be said. I don't know who's paying attention, who's not. I'll give Rich credit because he brought it to everyone's attention. Let's see where this goes on. Let's see where this Avi has announced that there's going to be more than one winner's circle, as you saw. David Holliday was the main one, the winner's circle. He debuted it. Rich Masadi has crashed the party. Avi's giving Rich Masadi his own segment. Can you believe it? He's earned it. Davis Jubilee obviously has a segment. So does that mean that, according to Rich Masadi, that David Holliday has 2 winner's circles segment, or there's David Holliday and Davis Jubilee? Because I'm as confused as a baby at Hooters. Can somebody leave a comment on that? It's not shtick. That's the truth. And I come across with asking a question as humorous. But it's a legit question. We go on to, as I'm an hour and 20 minutes in here, the first match of the night of night 11. And that's Mindy Red and the Music Man. It's tied 1-1. The promo videos hit. And this one has been weird. It's been alien related. It's been supernatural. It's been mystic. It's been I don't know what you want to call it, but the Music Man, Double M as I call him, Mindy Red, the Yellow Rose of Texas, perhaps the toughest competitor in the tournament. Certainly the toughest gal. There's no two ways about that. This has been demonic. Thank God Mindy brings the light and we've seen the Music Lady. But if you've watched the promos, if you've watched everything going online with the green room, you know that the Music Lady, something has changed. Let's get on to Mindy and the Music Man tied at 1-1. This is an elimination. Avi brings in the Music Man. Avi asks, why are you playing mind games? What's your deal? I don't understand it. Then Avi lets this guy answer. You can't understand anything he says. He's in the microphone, the Music Man, with the hair over his face. I can't imitate it. I can't imitate it right now. He has nothing against Mindy. I cherish her. She has a rare quality. It's her soul is 100% pure, which is why I must feast and devour her. After somebody says something like that, don't you disqualify them? No contest. Get them out of the tournament. Call the authorities. What are you running here in the green room, Klein? That's why Pinocchio Joe is on the shelf. That's why I have wounds and bandages. What are you doing? That's why Preston Present is still in the tournament. Judge Pompous is nowhere to be seen. DJ Hooja, I can list many, many, many competitors that are no longer around, Avi. Mysteriously disappeared. What are you doing here? Shouldn't there be an investigation? Avi brings in Mindy. You should have never let this go. Avi brings in Mindy, who's apparently, I've tried to talk to Mindy. We're competitors, but you do try to throw a line to someone to try to hope to save them if you care about people. And the green room cares, and I know Mindy's in big trouble. I'm not here to help you, Mindy. I tried to throw everyone a raft at the beginning of the green room. Now it's every man and woman for himself. Get your own life raft. So once again, Mindy is all disoriented, talking to herself, holding her head, shaking. And all you hear in the music in the background is the Music Man cackling like a hen. Mindy calls out for the Music Lady. She's still disoriented. She's looking down. I haven't seen, listen, I can't say that I haven't seen her like this. She's been like this in every matchup, under this spell of this guy. I don't understand what's going on, why somebody's not helping Mindy. We thought she had the light with the Music Lady. The Music Man's cackling. Mindy again calls out for the Music Lady. The lady appears and sings in an eerie, biblical, musical theme. She is here to serve the Music Man. She turns to Mindy and says, "Sell your soul." Music Man cackles again. What's going on here in the green room? What is going on with Mindy and the Music Man? I don't understand. The Music Lady, where is the light? Why isn't something going on here? I don't understand. Mindy says to Avi that she needs help. It's the smartest thing I've heard. She can't compete. She needs more time. Now, listen, I wouldn't have gave it to her. I would have called it a no contest. I would have disqualified. They both should be out of here. Or Music Man, I hate to say it, should advance, and Mindy should be disqualified. But Avi grants it to Mindy. I'll give him credit. Mindy does need help. We thought that she had the Music Lady. She broke down. Mindy Red, one of the strongest competitors in this tournament, was broken down by that son of a bitch, the Music Man. And no one, and I mean no one, did anything about it. I couldn't. I had to worry about Pinocchio Joe, and you see what happened to me. But not one of you were there to save the soul of Mindy Red. I get that this is a competition. It's every man and woman for himself. But really, Avi, you're supposed to be unbiased. And that's why when you say unbiased, Klein, it doesn't work with me. Yeah, Pete from Sharpie came in. You guys determined and decided that Mindy would get a mulligan and she needs more time. And then a lady, you hear her say that she's here for the Music Man. I don't know where this story goes. I don't know where this matchup goes. I know no one's being eliminated, and it's going to be determined and be announced what's going to happen with the Music Lady, the Music Man, and Mindy Red. I'm disgusted at this point with this tournament. I'm disgusted at what happened with Mindy. And I'm disgusted at you, Avi Klein and Pete from Sharpie, for letting this and allowing all of this to happen to all of us. Let me move on from there, because then we go on to, and I'm going to make this short. We're at an hour and 25 minutes, coming up on an hour and a half. I want to get the hell out of here, and this is where I get back to the Guardian of Chaos. We go on to the Night 11, the main event. That's right. I made it to the main event, just like I told you I would in this tournament. Whether it's in the first round, the second round, Sweet 16, Elite 8, the finals, final. I don't give a damn. I'm here to stay. I'm here in the green room. You're going to see the transformation in the many faces of the Guardian of Chaos and who I am. I've already started the transformation, but just remember that I can go back at any time. The main event. Avi and Pete come on screen. Of course, they're talking about the Music Man and the Music Lady. Let's get over that. We're on to the main event for people that have gotten there. This is what I would bring if I was the host of the Green Room. You saw it on Night 11. Only the second matchup of the night. In with the heavy hitters. In with the ratings, the analytics, the numbers, the fans, the viewers. That's right. When this intensity and this matchup comes up with these two savages, and that includes me and what I could really be. The first hour and 25 minutes, you saw what I can be and who I really am and other aspects of my life. Now you see me getting out of here. Tied 1-1 with one no contest already. You guys know that. They play the promos and the intros. I don't care about any of it. Ruby, Bobby, I don't care about families. I don't care about any of it. You've seen the promos. You've seen the 5 and 6 weeks up from night 5 leading into night 11 and what's happened between Pinocchio Joe and myself. So Avi decides he wants to talk to some of the competitors and viewers. And of course, the Guardian of Chaos army shows up in full force. All my Guardians of Chaos were there in full force, and it was a sight to behold. And when I get my people and crew together, we're here to take no prisoners. This is the side you don't like about me. This is the side that's not a work either. This is the side that's also a real side of me. Don't ever, ever, ever forget that. And don't ever take my kindness for weakness. And I will be back no matter what happened to me. You see that I made it through. And you're going to see future videos from the last previous nights and what I had to endure and go through. Stay tuned. But this is also who the hell I am. So Avi goes on and he talks to Rich Masadi. Rich is on the fence. He says that since everyone else is using it, Avi, that yours truly is unique. Using a lot of shady tactics. It's cutthroat between us. Originally, he was for the Guardian of Chaos, but now, Rich Masadi, you're not so sure. Yeah? I'll remember that, Masadi. He likes Pinocchio Joe's resolve. Yeah? I respect it, but it's not going to get him to the second round, Masadi. You're lucky you're already there. He brings in another second rounder, Rock Richards. At least Rock was honest. He has a history with I. Me and him. We know it. It goes back to a bunch of different trials with the great Judge Kim Laureanitis. You remember with Crowbar and all these other crumbs, including Davis Jubilee, you rock blocked me, and that's for sure. We were both in the green room before the tournament, Rock Richards. So we have a score to settle. Hopefully it will be someday, and if not, Rock, I'll come see you down there, and I'll settle it face to face with you. I'm not like a lot of other people that have been on this network. Oh, yeah, sure, come down, come see me, come there, yeah, yeah, all week, yeah, I'll be there. And then when you show up, they're not there, they're not man enough to be there. You come see me, I come see you, I'll be there. And that's a shoot. Remember that, Rock Richards. Rock compared myself and Pinocchio Joe to comic book characters. It's a man of steel versus a man of mist. And he says he wants me. And let me refer back to Avi Klein and to everyone else and what you're trying to do to me here. The Guardian of Chaos is a part of me. That's a part of the real person. So is this person. And so are other facets that you're going to see as the green room goes on, and if I'm lucky enough to survive. So be prepared for different, listen, who knows what you're going to see from me? Who knows what layers will be revealed as we go on? But just remember that this part will never, ever go anywhere. So that's what Rock Richards said. And then Davis Jubilee or David Holiday, whoever, I don't know, comes on and says, he can't trust a man who won't show his face. And he's talking about you, fat boy. You, Pinocchio Joe. Looking like 3 pounds of sausage in a 1 pound bag. That's right, that's you. He talks about GOC and saying that I talk a lot, and I can't back it up. Really, old man? Just like I said to Stephen Lee, really, old man? It doesn't matter how old you are, what sex, what religion, what race. You come at me, I treat everybody equally. And that's in life. So remember that, Jubilee or Holiday or whoever it is and all the other competitors. And that's a shoot. I keep saying shoot. We go to the fans. And this is a part, and I don't care if I have to go on for 2 hours. This is a part where I want to personally thank each and every one of you, famous, infamous, not so famous, first-timers, long-timers. Give me a second, because I want to give a personal thanks to every single person that I was notified of that was in my corner at one time or another. I need this to go on. So Avi goes to the fans. This is what it's really all about. Numbers, analytics, putting asses in seats, getting the attention of everybody in the green room and the sponsors and everybody else that believes in this green room and believes in us. I can't thank you enough, pretty Paul Roma, Gus Anselmo, Joel Bateman, Sean Holland, Mark Sanzo, Dave Polino, Emma, Zachary Cribb, Jason Soares, Rock Richards, Howard Collado, Jamie Sparling, Rich Masadi, David Holiday, Tammy Goff Kahini, Johnny McKinney, Giovanni Nieves, Nicole Nieves, Bruce Burrows, William Wilson, Joel Bateman. Boy, let me tell you what, that's a lot of people that I was informed. Listen, and I know there's dozens more that I missed because I've answered each and every one of you, or at least Jay has, whether it be on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Thank you for all your support and for who I am as a character and am as a person and supporting me in this tournament. Every one of you said something positive, whether it was both, let me not say that, whether you were sincere or not. I thank each and every one of you, because without you, I wouldn't be here in this capacity in the green room. So I wanted to take that moment and really, from the bottom of my heart, thank each and every one of you. And I know there's several of you that I missed. So we move on, like as I said, the main event promos. And again, Avi, this is why I'll never let you slide. You're never going to get the 100% that you think you're going to get, because you know what? You're against me. You predicted Pinocchio Joe again. You said, get the job done. Not only get out, clown. Really, Avi? You have made it crystal clear that you don't want me around. You don't want me in this tournament. You don't want me in this green room. You don't want me around. And this is where I get into the GOC. That's what you said. You don't want me around. Get out. I don't belong. You've been saying it all along. But I've let it go. Remember, I'm okay with it. It's all good, Avi. I forgive you. I have other things to worry about. I have bigger fish to fry. I have to worry about Pinocchio Joe, the green room, the competitors, the tournament, trying to advance to round number 2. So, Avi, my friend, you're the judge. You're the host. Yeah, it's all good. Say whatever you want. Yeah, get out, clown. Listen, I don't blame you. If I were you, I'd say get out, clown, too. You make a lot of valid points, Avi. You know, yeah, I've seen my shortcomings, and you are right. And really, if I had to vote and if I was out there, I would probably say to Joe, you should win, too, Joe. You're a scary guy. I know you're probably afraid of him, and you're running, and, you don't want to, offend Pinocchio Joe, and, you have connections and friends. And that's okay, Avi. No, that's good. No, I would vote for Pinocchio Joe, too. So, yes, you get out, clown. Get out, clown. I'll leave as soon as I heal up. I'll leave after round 1. Listen, can I, wait, let me think about it. Let me wave the white flag now, Avi? No? All right, well, let's move on. Joe comes in first, and again, I've said it already, and I'm not going to run this down to good, bad, and ugly. I want to get out of here. You fans know what happened. I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about Night 11 and the performers before me and what happened. Martin Cove, Kerry Kasem, Casey Kasem. I'm here to talk about Mindy. I'm here to talk about the Music Man. I'm here to talk about the Winner's Circle. I'm not here to talk about me in this matchup with this slug on hot pavement. You fans know what happened. I didn't do anything on night 10 for the technical issues, the power grid, or any of that. I didn't do any of it. I didn't poison you on night 5 either, fat boy, and I didn't do anything on night 11. I don't know what happened to you. I went back and looked at the footage, and whatever happened to you was not my fault. I can't help it if you don't know how to play with a gun. You're so stupid, you probably shot yourself. And that's what my defense is, fat boy. And that's what my defense is, you terrorizing me, terrorizing my family, terrorizing the green room. I can't stand you, Pinocchio Joe. And you know what? This should have never even happened. I've been voted by the fans overwhelmingly now 4 times as a better host, a better performer, a better person, a better man than you, Pinocchio Joe. And you've tried to drag me into coming after you and your family. And you've tried to drag me into all this different BS, having people on the green room question who I am as a person, having Avi Klein want me out of here himself, and everybody else. You've turned me into a savage because you're a savage. I've had it with this. I have. And let me tell you something, Pinocchio Joe. You've tested me. You've taken me to the limits. Yeah, I respect what you did because we know a lot of the same scumbags and pieces of goo that are out there in this world. And we've dealt with them all. But there's a difference between guys and you and I. I'm a bad, good guy. You're just a bad guy, and you got these people fooled, but you don't have me fooled, and that's why everything is changing around here, and you're gonna see what's gonna happen. You bring out the worst in me. It was talked about in this tournament. First off, I don't admit to anything. Get out, clown. I don't care about any of that. The insults after insults, all that means nothing now. What means something is we've had 2 no contests, and that 5th matchup, whenever it's going to be, and me getting into the 2nd round and showing the people that I am not this man 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I am not this person all the time that does all these different things to people. This is not me. This is just a side of me. There's many sides of me. A good guy, a father, a husband. There's things that I want to show to the people, and why that I'm not this mad, crazy man. Pinocchio Joe, you have done this to me. You brought in family into it. I'm catching it. You got people thinking that they respect you, and it's not personal, and you're going to laugh at me, and other people are going to laugh at me. Well, it's never going to happen. I don't care about the promo challenges. I don't care what I had to bring up. I don't care about the words that I had to use. Revenge, respect, submission, torture. I don't care about any of that. I just don't. I don't care about these notes. I don't care about anything else now on night 11. And Joe with chaos, rage, family, resolution. I don't care. Ruby, Joe's wife, your son Bobby. Forget about this competition. Forget about Joe. It's not important. You guys need to be safe. Isn't that the most important thing? You shouldn't be caring about Joe. Why? It's deeper. It wasn't enough. He wanted more. Necessity, purpose, goal, conclusion. And then you have the nerve to offer my confidant, my concierge, Jay Brony, a job with you after what you tried to do to me and you said you were going to do to him? This is the side that we're talking about. This is what happened on night 11. You want to take my people, come after my family. You did this first. And then you want to go to the votes. I said it already. The fans vote for me every single time. Every single time, because I'm a good bad guy. And then what? Pete votes for Pinocchio Joe. Pete, I'll remember that. Avi votes for Pinocchio Joe. And all of a sudden, before you know it, he's up 1-0. He's up 1-0 on night 11. I don't understand. I don't understand what the hell is going on. I know one thing for sure. There is no loyalty. There is no professionalism. And my reward will be dominance, Avi Klein. How about that? How about that? This is what you do to me. I didn't care about that question and answer thing that you came up with. I had bigger fish to fry. I didn't know that someone had breached security at that time. I didn't know that somebody was on my effing property at that time. You see how quickly I turn into this person when it comes to this? So a question comes from someone, and first off, I don't have to address anybody by name. I do it because I'm loyal to the fans who are loyal to me. Kimberly, I will eliminate Pinocchio Joe. I can't think about any of the other competitors or the 2nd round until I eliminate this piece of human garbage in Pinocchio Joe. So I can say it now on the review show. What kind of question was that to be asked when I'm facing an animal in the 1st round? I can't look past anybody, not even you as a fan. Avi tried to get me disqualified because of that. And then you want me to not worry about interference. We've already had 2 no contests. He tried to get me disqualified, and I had to re-answer the question. And Pete agreed. Avi said I had no soul. Avi, you're going to find out. Where's the camera? You're going to find out how much soul I really do have. That's what you want, right? That's what you wanted, right? You wanted real soul. You wanted, right? All in all our splendor, right? On HD, there's nothing to hide here, right? Look, nothing to hide here. Remember what's real and what's not real. Remember that. You guess, okay? No soul. Yeah. I brought out the worst in Pinocchio, Joe. I know that. Families were supposed to be left out. I know that. But remember, viewers, I don't have to convince anybody. The competitors, the green room, the sponsors, the people behind, the people in Hollywood. I don't have to convince anyone. He brought it in. If you've been paying attention, come on, we ain't new to this. We got a 5th matchup coming up soon. You know what's going on if you've been paying attention to the hottest, fastest, rising, growing show in the entertainment industry. You know. I don't have to convince you. I didn't bring family into it. And then I have to hear everything refer to Joe Pesci. I guess this is the green room. I guess this is Hollywood. I have to refer to Joe Pesci. I have to hear Avi refer to Joe Pesci. Everything that idiot said is a lie. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Avi. And then I get a question about Pinocchio Joe's family from Moses Klein. Moses Klein? Moses Klein. Moses Klein. Moses Klein. Wow. You know, why am I even reviewing this when we all know what happened and how everything happened after that? That even Avi gets so distracted and not paying attention that he's so busy about being hydrated. Did you notice that? This is the point where things got a little chaotic. Hour and 45 minutes in. I guess we're going to make the full 2 hours. Son of a bitch. Hour and 45 minutes in. Avi has to hydrate. You got to hydrate, Avi? Water with lemonade? Lemonade with water? You got to hydrate, right? Really? Because that's what had happened. Water with lemonade. You remember? Should I slowly replay it? I should have known, and when I looked, I did know. I couldn't stop what happened at that point. But something happened. Now at that point, here's my alibi and my story. I didn't see what happened to Pinocchio Joe. How the hell could I when somebody was on my property, in my bunker, over right there? And it was someone I'd seen before. And before I could react, I felt that warm, hot, burning, fleshing sensation that I have felt before. Yes. And that's a shoot. That I felt before graze across the side of my neck. I don't know what happened to Joe, nor did I give a damn what happened to Pinocchio Joe. I know that the perimeter was breached here at Chaos Corner. That's what I know. As soon as Avi said that, and I know who did it, and I'm not saying anything. You see the change and transformation, and it's gonna continue. Oh, trust me, once this is over. Apparently Joe got blasted by someone. I don't know about that. I don't care about that. I hope they took him out. I hope they did, and that's a shoot. I know that I was clipped. I know that I laid less than 10 feet from where I'm sitting right now on the ground, where the carpet has been cut up and they left a stain from my blood. My blood. As that person, as I tried to crawl quickly around the corner to see who was running out of the bunker. Do you think I don't have cameras or security? Do you think I didn't recognize you when you came in? You dumb son of a bitch. You think I was born yesterday? Or that stupid saying? I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. I've been doing this my whole life. I've chased the ones who want to do the chasing, not the other way around. And this is the side that you see that you bring out of me. So that's what's going to happen. And then I go back. I got reports. I was carted off on a train right down the street. You know that. And if you know where I live, you know that it's true. And everybody whisked me away. And that's why I'm back here. And that's why I'm bandaged up. And you'll see that. You're going to see what I went through. I'll show you. I'm not afraid to show you. I'm not afraid to show my vulnerability. I'm not. And just like I said on night 11, you didn't get the job done, Joe. You didn't get the job done. You didn't. You didn't. And whoever did whatever happened to you, I don't give a damn. And if they didn't get the job done, I know that it wasn't any of my guardians of chaos. Because if somebody that I sent to do it, you wouldn't be here right now. I'd be in round 2. Nobody would have been on my property, and this would be over. And I would have advanced to my rightful throne in round 2. I don't care if you survived. I don't care what happened to you. I don't care if you were shot. I don't care if you're bloodied. I don't care what happens to you, Pinocchio Joe. I don't care what happens to your family. Don't turn around. Don't run. Mr. Big Bad Tough Guy, Mr. Knows Who I Am, you don't know diddly about me. Nobody does. But you're going to see it here on the green room. Night 11 was just an illusion. Anything that happens moves forward will be based on reality. I am the guardian of chaos. I do tell it like it is, and I'll say that to say this about the green room, about night 11, about Pinocchio Joe. I'm not going anywhere. And you're going to see what kind of person I really am. You're going to see the changes, and you're going to see that this is a part of who I am. It is. Think about that. Anyway, so we know what happened. It was declared a second no contest. I was a bloody mess. Joe was a bloody mess. I don't know how it happened. I'm not copping to it. I only know what happened here at Chaos Corner. I don't care what happened up north. Yeah, so he came black on bloodied. It says I didn't get the job done. You're right, because I didn't do it. So you admitted to trying to have me taken out, Joe? I didn't admit to shit. I can't say that, but it was for... I didn't admit to poop. Remember that, Joe, and that's not shtick. I didn't admit to nothing. And if I sent someone, you would be gone. So Pete and Avi declare it a second no contest. So let's just figure this out. We were tied 1-1. Pinocchio Joe won the first time that we met up, and he shouldn't because the fans voted me. I won the second time we met up, which was right. The fans voted me. Should have been 2-0. Joe should have been eliminated at that point, and I should be in round 2. Didn't happen. Again, the fix is in. Night number 3 was an alleged poisoning. I know I was sick as a dog and was almost taken out and took this guy for granted. Never again. Well, hopefully not again. And someone breached the security. And I'll still never admit what happened to you on night 5, Joe. I had nothing to do with it. I don't care that you got poisoned. But you have admitted now twice to trying to take me out. You've admitted to poisoning me. And now after what I saw a couple nights ago, you've admitted to try to take me out again. That's enough evidence to have you disqualified and taken out of this tournament and not make it to a match 5. We've had 2 no contests now. And on all 4 of those contests, I overwhelmingly won by the fans. Yes, you the viewers, because they know what time it is. They know what's real and what isn't. They know who could be real and who can't. They know who can carry it and who can't. They've seen who can carry it and who can't. And that's the whole effing green room right here after Pinocchio Joe is done. Our fifth matchup. Yeah, it was a no contest, and it's going to be a no contest whenever we meet again in this round. And it's going to be before round 2, so all you chump suckers waiting around. I stole that from somebody. Keep waiting in the second round. Keep waiting, because none of you in this tournament are advancing until we are finished. Remember that. Let me get on to the task at hand. It's almost 2 hours in. Pete has ice in his veins. I will say that. I'll give Pete credit for that. He's got ice in his veins. Avi and Pete keep going at it. Avi's blaming Pete for a lot of this stuff. Pete said he has nothing to do with any of this, but he does have ice in his veins. Avi, you won't admit or cop to anything, huh? Unbelievable. But again, hey, listen, Avi, that's your choice. It's your show. Who cares? I'm in your corner, Avi. I'm in your corner. Avi's back. Back again, night 11, after the fiasco. And I'm here to talk about it. You're lucky, Avi, that I don't press charges on you. Avi's back, and he talks Taekwon's appearance. Now, I don't know where they're going with this. The night was already legendary. Should have stopped it right there. But I get it. He's talking about Taekwon's appearance, and this was why Avi came back on, and this is what made it worth it, and the only reason why. He goes on about Taekwon with the appearances and highlight video of the Patriot Del Wilkes. That right there made night 11. You talk Martin Cove, you talk Kerry Kasem, you talk Mindy and the Music Man, you talk the winner's circle and all the great second round winners. You talk about the historic, unprecedented, unpredictable matchup in the main event between yours truly and Pinocchio Joe. This was what made it all happen. You talk even about Mark Henry, who's more relevant than anyone today as a legend. And this is what really made it for everyone on the green room. I know that. Del Wilkes highlight talking about Taekwon. Priceless. And Avi, for one reason or another, brings in Taekwon, the young Don, Mr. Dashing. And Avi wants to ask why he voted for Bill DeMott. Now, you thought night 11 was over after that fiasco. But it wasn't. They cleaned everything up. The authorities came in, got all the bodies out. The bodies hit the floor, including yours truly. And they went on, because the show always goes on. And that's what happens in the green room. No matter who walks, who gets fired, who leaves, who comes in, the show always goes on, because nobody's bigger than the team. Nobody's bigger than one individual. Nobody. Remember that as my PSA. So Avi asked why he voted for Bill DeMott. Because if you remember back on the historic night 10, and the whole swerve with Crowbar and Taekwon and Bill DeMott, it truly was legendary. It was unbelievable. It shocked even I. Unbelievable. So Avi asks, why did he vote for DeMott? And Taekwon, I will say, he's smoother than the back side of the spoon. Cooler than the other side of the pillow. Taekwon, the young Don. He said that he appreciated Crowbar, but that him and Bill had a master grand plan. Hey, listen, Bill DeMott hasn't been around this long and on the big time because he doesn't know what he's doing. I'll give DeMott credit for that. He had a master plan, and they went way back. He said it was good with Crowbar. He was cool. Taekwondo, International Taekwondo, the whole party. He said he really didn't like the cake. So not only did Taekwon pull the swerve on Crowbar, you sucker, after you left me high and dry in the courtroom, Crowbar, I didn't forget about that. You turned out, you kissed Sharpie's ass. You stroked Pete and James, who's persona non grata. No more RG James, Crowbar. And you kissed up to Pete from Sharpie with all those beautiful words and all that Star Wars stuff with Taekwon and with Pete. And you're gone. And you got swerved. And your old buddy Pete from Sharpie got swerved. And you know who else got swerved? Avi Klein. Because you all were down and thought this was a big master plan against Bill DeMott. And he got you all. From Crowbar to Pete to you, Avi. That's the best part of the whole thing. Taekwon, If I ever make it out alive, brother, out of the green room, I'd love to face you. I like your spunk. I like your style. And I like the swerve you pulled off, Taekwon. I doubted you at first. You made me a believer. I'll see you soon. Listen, getting back to what Taekwon said, he said, and I can see this with Crowbar. He said Bill gave him the positive mental attitude, the PMAs that he needed in life. Crowbar was there. He was a great friend. He liked him, but didn't give him what Bill DeMott, and that's what Bill DeMott does on Face Value every Tuesday night with Avi Klein at 5:30. That's why the Carrie Ann DeMott Foundation and Bill DeMott and what he does on Face Value with Avi Klein is the real deal, and that's a shoot. And I keep saying that. I shouldn't have to. You should know this by now. And then it kind of turned on Avi, and I was happy to see this. It was reported to me, because when I was on the train, I'm laying on the tracks in the train, and they're showing me on the video screen of what happened after this with Taekwon, and he blackmailed you, Avi. How's that feel to be so deep in the green room that you're not above it either, homeboy? Home piece, home skillet, home jacket, home slice. You ain't above it either. And Taekwon took it to your ass too. And he says he wants a scene in the green. He wants to be in the tournament. Pete comes in as Avi cackles it up. That cackle, that giddiness that Avi Klein is known for. But guess what? Pete likes the idea, and I noticed the tension between you and Pete, Avi. And guess what? You got swerved. He liked the idea, and as much as you were against it, guess what happened, Avi? Taekwon is in. Avi's denying everything, of course, even though Pete's agreeing. They're going back and forth. They have been all night. Taekwon makes a deal that the world will know about who, Avi. Give Taekwon credit. He took out Crowbar. He suckered Pete in. He certainly suckered in the man with the master plan, the marionette man, the puppet player, Avi Klein, the man who pulls the rabbit out of the hat. Taekwon got you. And I said it earlier, almost 2 hours ago, about State Farm and Jake. This is no joke. How's Jake, Avi? And I don't even know who he is, but it's been coming to light that everybody soon will know who Jake is, Avi. Who's Jake? Who's Jake? That's what Taekwon said. And Avi all of a sudden takes off the glasses. You want to get real? Avi takes off the glasses and he gets serious. Apparently it's some sort of blackmail, huh? How do you like it, Avi? How's the blackmail? Didn't like it, did you? Nah, everyone has something to say until they walk a mile in another man's shoes. Everyone's got something to say until it affects them. And nobody gives a damn until it affects them when you tell them, huh, Avi? How's it feel now? Huh? Jake? How's it feel now, Avi? You got real nervous, huh? Took off your glasses? Was that a sign? Was that real? Was that shtick? It all comes back, Avi, doesn't it? What you say, what you preach, what you do, it all comes back. And then Avi okays for Taekwon to enter the dark castle known as the Green Room. That was unbelievable. And then it's revealed. Not only did Avi get blackmailed, Taekwon swerved everybody, is in the Green Room tournament. It's been revealed that next Saturday he will be in the Battle of the Eliminated against one-time competitor and one tough son of a bitch, Jamie Sparling. That's right, David Holliday, Mr. Winner's Circle, old arch nemesis, Jamie Sparling, in the Battle of the Eliminated against a man who wants a scene in the green, Taekwon. And then Avi ends it. Don't ever mention Jake again. Again, Avi, how's it feel? I'm here with all my flaws, Avi. Everybody's going to see it now. This is the real guy. How's it feel to put people on the spot? How's it feel? You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow, Avi. And then you had the cojones to bring me back on. I was in a dark, nasty, dirty spot at that time, Avi Klein. And I'm going to say to Pinocchio Joe, and I said it to you, First off, Joe, you mentioned kiss the children goodnight. I saw it. You said to me, kiss the children goodnight. You have no idea the Pandora's box that you just opened. It's about to get real, Pinocchio Joe. You want to talk about my family, and then you want to talk about my children. You brought this up. You brought this in. So I'll kiss everybody goodnight. Trust me when I tell you. You reap what you sow. The blood of Bobby and Ruby is on your hands, Pinocchio Joe. I'm back in the darkness now. I'll let everybody else see me after this matchup. And then, if I'm fortunate and blessed and grateful enough to survive against you, you son of a bitch, then people will see, peel back the onion of the Guardian of Chaos and what I'm really all about. This is the beginning of the transition. I don't care about a fifth matchup. I don't care when it takes place. I don't care that Avi says leave family out of it. Don't you dare say it to me either, you son of a bitch. Jake's been brought into it. My family's been brought into it. It's an even playing field now. You, Pete, everybody else, all the competitors, Pinocchio Joe, you did this. Now, again, I'll say it to all of you like I said to Pinocchio Joe. Avi wants to blame Pete. He wants to blame everybody but himself. Pete loves the entertainment. I get it. So do the fans. So do the sponsors. So does Hollywood, I guess, maybe. I don't know yet. But he didn't want family to come into it. Pete said this. You guys started this. Pete, you hit the reset on May 8th. Remember? You guys started all this. I'm well over 2 hours now, so I'll continue to go on because now I don't care. I don't care about the fifth matchup. I don't care about any of this. I care about determining how I'm going to make it in the green room and compete with this cast. How I'm going to belong. How I'm going to fit in. That's the ultimate goal. The short-term goal right now, I don't care about any of you. I care about Pinocchio Joe. I care about healing. I care about healing this, and I care about my family. And I care about what's being done. I'll continue to care about the green room and the people involved in the green room. You're either in or you're out. And that's the complete review of the good, the bad, and the ugly of Night 11, Round 1. Night 12 is this Saturday night live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as the Green Room tournament continues to roll on. I don't know when I'll be back. And the hell with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the movies that he was in, because I'm saying this from the heart. I will be back. And there's nothing you can do about it.